desolate mountains, carrying with it an eerie sense of foreboding. The snow-covered landscape seemed untouched by time, frozen in an eternal winter that hid secrets beneath its pristine surface. This was the infamous Dyatlov Pass, where a group of experienced hikers met a mysterious and gruesome end that would baffle investigators for decades. It was February 1959, and 9 friends embarked on a trek into the Ural Mountains, seeking adventure and the thrill of conquering nature. Led by the charismatic Igor Dyatlov, the group consisted of seasoned hikers and skiers, each possessing a wealth of experience in surviving the harsh conditions of the Russian wilderness. As the group made their way deeper into the unforgiving terrain, the temperature plummeted and the wind intensified, creating an atmosphere of isolation and dread. The hikers pressed on, their breath visible in the freezing air, determined to reach their destination despite the mounting challenges. One night, they set up camp on the slopes of Syakhl, the Mountain of the Dead, named by the indigenous Mansi people who believed the area to be cursed. Little did the hikers know that this cursed mountain held secrets that would soon envelop them in a nightmarish ordeal. The morning after they set up camp, the group's expedition took a chilling turn. Rescuers, responding to a delayed communication from the hikers' families, discovered the campsite abandoned. The tent, torn from the inside, revealed a sense of panic that gripped the hikers. Footprints led away from the tent, some barefoot, as if the hikers had fled in terror, leaving behind their essential gear and warm clothing. The rescuers followed the trail, their breaths visible in the frigid air. The footprints led them to a grove of trees where they made a macabre discovery. The first 2 bodies, frozen and contorted in unnatural positions, lay in the snow. Their faces wore expressions of terror, as if they had witnessed something beyond human comprehension. As the rescuers continued their grim search, they found more bodies scattered across the snowy landscape. One hiker had a fractured skull, another exhibited signs of intense radiation exposure, and others were missing eyes and tongues. The mystery deepened with each gruesome find, and fear settled over the rescue team like a thick fog. The official investigation raised more questions than answers. What could drive experienced hikers to abandon their shelter in the middle of a freezing night? Why were some of them missing vital body parts? And what explained the mysterious radiation levels detected on some of the bodies? Rumors and speculations spread like wildfire. Some attributed the incident to a yeti or other supernatural entities inhabiting the desolate mountains. Others whispered of secret military experiments gone awry, leaving the hikers as unwitting victims of a government conspiracy. The investigation into the Dyatlov Pass Incident was initiated after the hikers failed to make contact as scheduled, causing concern among their families and prompting a search and rescue operation. The official investigation was conducted by Soviet authorities, led by prosecutor Lev Ivanov, and it aimed to uncover the truth behind the mysterious and gruesome deaths of the 9 hikers. The first major discovery was the abandoned campsite on the slopes of Syakhl. The tent, torn from the inside, indicated that the hikers had made a hasty and panicked escape. Investigators carefully documented the scene, noting the peculiarities of the tent's condition and the scattered belongings left behind. The investigators followed the footprints in the snow, leading them to the grim tableau of the scattered bodies. The footprints told a harrowing tale of the hikers' flight from the tent in various states of undress, some even barefoot in the freezing temperatures. This raised questions about what could have driven them to abandon their shelter in such a desperate manner. Autopsies were conducted on the bodies, revealing a range of injuries and abnormalities. Some of the hikers had suffered fractures and internal injuries consistent with a high-force impact, while others showed signs of exposure to extreme cold. The most puzzling findings were the missing eyes, tongues, and the elevated levels of radiation detected on some of the bodies. The discovery of radiation on the bodies added a layer of complexity to the investigation. The source of the radiation remained unclear, and theories ranged from military involvement to natural environmental factors. Despite the puzzling radiation levels, the investigators struggled to connect them to a plausible explanation for the hikers' deaths. The investigators examined the personal belongings left behind by the hikers, including Igor Dyatlov's journal and the cameras they had carried. Dyatlov's journal provided insight into the group's experiences leading up to the incident, but it offered no clear explanation for their sudden and desperate flight from the tent. The investigators considered the prevailing weather conditions, as extreme cold and harsh winds could have contributed to the hikers' distress. However, experienced as they were, the group was well equipped for winter conditions, and it seemed unlikely that weather alone could explain their bizarre behavior. The official investigation concluded that an unknown compelling force had driven the hikers to leave the safety of their tent, resulting in their tragic deaths. The case file was eventually closed, but controversy and speculation persisted. The lack of a conclusive explanation fueled a myriad of theories, ranging from natural disasters to extraterrestrial encounters and government cover-ups. Despite the passage of time, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the most perplexing, unsolved mysteries in the annals of both Soviet and global history, captivating the imaginations of those intrigued by the unexplained and the macabre.